Myself Prema. Welcome students to the 8th chapter of History Civil Disobedience Movement of Standard 8th. Now students, in the last chapter you have studied about the non-cooperation movement. That non-cooperation movement, it came to an end, and the reason was that is we have studied in that the incident that has taken place at Chauri Chaura, the police station that was set on fire. As the day that in non-cooperation movement it became violent, the movement has been cancelled by Mahatma Gandhi. As Gandhiji, we all know he was a believer of non-violence. So the moment that when it turned violent, he has stopped the movement. Now after this non-cooperation movement, it came to end in the year 1920-21, and afterwards we have also studied about the demand of the Purna Swaraj that was met by the young leaders, that is Pandit Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose. Now after that we have new movement that was launched by Gandhiji was civil disobedience movement. So in this chapter we are going to study about that. Now civil disobedience movement, civil means society, disobedience means to disobey the law of the British government. So about that we will be studying. Now after the resolution of complete independence, that is the Purna Swaraj, that is complete independence, was demand in the Lahore section, Mahatma Gandhi he decided to launch the civil disobedience movement. Now before beginning this movement, Gandhiji put up various demands in front of the British government. Means before starting the civil disobedience movement, so Gandhiji he has put before the British government various demands in front of the British government, and in that one of the most important demand was, that is, it was to cancel the salt tax and the monopoly of the British government for manufacture of salt. So what was the most important demand? That is, the British people, they started taxing people on the salt. They started collecting tax on the salt. So he demanded that the salt tax has to be cancelled. Along with that, the British people, they were having the monopoly to make the salt, to prepare the salt. Only British companies, खाली British companies salt बना सकते. So he demanded that that monopoly has to be removed. But the government, but because the demands of the Gandhiji were rejected by the government, he decided to launch satyagraha at all over India by breaking the salt tax. So here, whatever the demand that was put forward by Gandhiji, so that demands were rejected by the government. As a result, Gandhiji he decided to launch satyagraha all over India by breaking the salt tax. अभी salt tax कैसे break कर सकते हैं? By making salt by Indians only, means Indian people, they are going to make the salt. Now salt is an important ingredient in the food of the common people. Salt सबको खाने में लगता है. It is an important ingredient. So it was an unjust to impose tax on the essential commodity like salt. So here, according to him, it was a unjust act of the British government to collect a tax on the salt. Now see, so here Gandhiji decided, and was main important thing here, Gandhiji decided to bring all the people together. So salt, it was an important issue, common issue था, जो सबको ज़रूरत लगता है, whether the person is rich or poor. So all will be coming and supporting the movement. So salt satyagraha was symbolic. The extensive objective behind it was to break the oppressive and unjust law of the British government through peace and satyagraha. So here, what was the main objective? To break the unjust law of the British government through peace and satyagraha. Gandhiji chose Dandi, a seashore in the Gujarat, to begin the salt satyagraha. So Gandhiji he chose a place, that is Dandi. Dandi, it is a coastal town near the coastal area in Gujarat. So on 12th March 1930, Gandhiji set out from Sabarmati Ashram with 78 followers for launching the salt satyagraha. So कब start हुआ था? 12th March 1930. How many followers they were accompanying him? 78 followers. So a distance of approximately 385 km was covered on foot, and Gandhiji delivered speeches in the villages on the way. So when he was going to the place Dandi, so in between whichever the villages came, so in that villages he started giving the speeches to the people. Now in the speeches, what he appealed? Gandhiji appealed to the people to become fearless. They should not have any fear in their minds, and they should come and they support the civil disobedience movement. Now due to Gandhiji's speeches, messages of civil disobedience spread everywhere, and there was a favorable atmosphere. So on 5th April 1930, Gandhiji reached Dandi. When he reached Dandi? 5th April 1930. And on 6th April, Gandhiji broke the salt tax by picking up the salt lying on the seashore of Dandi, and the civil disobedience movement started all over the country. So 6th April को गांधीजी ने कैसे ब्रोक किया सॉल्ट टैक्स? खुद सॉल्ट बना के वहाँ पे उन्होंने सॉल्ट एक्ट को क्या किया था? ब्रोक किया था. नाउ स्टूडेंट, सॉल्ट कैसे बनता है सबको पता है. सी वाटर इज सलाइन. वो सॉल्ट, वो पानी को जब हम बॉईल करेंगे तो व्हाट विल हैपन, द वाटर इट इज गोइंग टू इवापोरेट एंड द सॉल्ट विल बी लेफ्ट behind. So by making the salt near the seashore, Gandhiji he broke the salt act. Next is the Peshawar Satyagraha. Now Peshawar place, that is, it is a name of place. It is the, in present period it is in Pakistan. In northwest frontier, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan was the most loyal follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He was also known as Frontier Gandhi. Frontier क्या है, नाम एक place का, and he was a follower of Gandhi. So he was also given the name as Frontier Gandhi. He had founded the organization called Khudai Khidmatgar. So what was the name of the organization he has founded? Khudai Khidmatgar. On 23rd April 1930, he started Satyagraha at Peshawar. The town was in the hands of the Satyagrahis nearly for a week. So वो जो टाउन प्लेस था नियरली सत्याग्रहीज के हाथ में चला गया था, कितने दिनों के लिए, पूरे एक वीक के लिए. The British government gave orders to the Garhwal regiment to carry out open firing on the Satyagrahis. Means the situation, it was went out of the control of the police. They were not able to control the situation. So British government ने क्या किया था, गढ़वाल रेजिमेंट, आर्मी का एक अलग अलग ग्रुप होते हैं ना, तो उसमें गढ़वाल रेजिमेंट था. So they were given the orders to open firing on the Satyagrahis. But Chandra Singh Thakur was an officer of Garhwal regiment. He refused to open fire. So he was court martialed. मतलब आर्मी लोगों को जब पनिशमेंट मिलता है तो क्या बोला जाता है, कोर्ट मार्शल, and he was given a severe punishment. Now the British government found itself in a difficult situation due to the satyagraha launched by Mahatma Gandhi. So on 4th May 1930, Gandhiji was arrested. So British people, they were not able to control the situation. Many lakhs of people, they were put into jail. And on 4th May 1930, Gandhiji was arrested. Now suppressive measures were undertaken all over the country. There was protest all over the country due to the arrest of Mahatma Gandhi. So all over the country, when the people they came to know about the arrest of Mahatma Gandhi, so protest, agitations were seen all over the country. Next, we will be studying about Solapur Satyagraha. Now Solapur, it is a place in Maharashtra. So the mill workers were on the forefront in the Solapur Satyagraha. So in the Solapur Satyagraha, which people came into forefront? That is the mill workers. जो textiles mills के workers हैं ना, they came into the forefront. On 6th May 1930, हड़ताल was observed in Solapur. So Solapur में on 6th May 1930, हड़ताल was observed in Solapur. Huge procession was organized in Solapur. ह्यूज प्रोसेशन का मीनिंग, प्रोसेशन क्या होता है, मोर्चा निकाला गया था. कहाँ पे ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ था, इन सोलापुर. द डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर्स गेव ऑर्डर्स ऑफ फायरिंग ऑन द प्रोसेशन. सो यहाँ पे जो ह्यूज प्रोसेशन ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ था मिल वर्कर्स के थ्रू, सो यहाँ पे डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर ही गेव ऑर्डर्स ऑफ फायरिंग ऑन द प्रोसेशन. नाउ मेनी वॉलंटियर्स अलॉन्ग विद दैट इज शंकर शिवधारे डाइड इन द फायरिंग. सो जब फायरिंग स्टार्ट हुआ तो इन दैट अलॉन्ग विद शंकर शिवधारे many people, many volunteers, they have died. As a result, people started attacking police stations, railway stations, courts, municipals, buildings, etc. So this is when the here Shankar Shivdare died in the firing and many volunteers they died. No, so as a result, the people they also started attacking the police stations, railway stations, courts, municipal buildings के ऊपर अटैक करना स्टार्ट कर दिया था. The government declared martial law and the agitation was suppressed. तो गवर्नमेंट ने क्या डिक्लेयर किया, मार्शल लॉ. मार्शल लॉ मीन्स हियर पीपल दे कैन नॉट कम आउट. तो एक कर्फ्यू जैसा ही होता है, मतलब बिना परमिशंस के, प्रायर परमिशंस के, नो वन कैन कम आउट. अगर कोई दिख गया तो गवर्नमेंट उसको क्या करेगी, दे कैन शूट देम. सो एंड द एजिटेशन, जो प्रोटेस्ट हुआ था उसको सप्रेस कर दिया था गवर्नमेंट ने. दोज हु टुक लीड इन दिस मूवमेंट सच एज मल्लप्पा धनशेट्टी, श्री कृष्ण सरदा, कुर्बान हुसैन एंड जगन्नाथ शिंदे, दे वेर हैंग टू डेथ. तो सबको क्या किया था, हैंग कर दिया गया था इन चारों को. नेक्स्ट वी विल बी स्टडिंग अबाउट द धारासना सत्याग्रह. नाउ द सत्याग्रह एट धारासना इन गुजरात वाज लेड बाय सरोजनी नायडू. नाउ द पुलिस लाठी चार्ज ऑन द सत्याग्रहीज हु केम फॉरवर्ड टू ब्रेक द सॉल्ट एक्ट. तो यहाँ पे धारासना इन गुजरात जहाँ पे सरोजनी नायडू ने सत्याग्रह स्टार्ट किया था. सो द पुलिस व्हाट दे स्टार्टेड डूइंग, दे स्टार्टेड लाठी चार्ज ऑन द सत्याग्रहीज हु केम टू ब्रेक द लॉ. सो द सत्याग्रही साइलेंटली टॉलरेटेड द ब्लोस ऑफ द लाठी. तो सत्याग्रही क्या करते, दे वर कमिंग इन द फोरफ्रंट एंड दे वर बेयरिंग दैम. वो ब्लो को सह ले रहे थे. व्हेन दे वर टेकन अवे फ्रॉम द फॉर द मेडिकल एड, अंदर बैच ऑफ सत्याग्रही केम फॉरवर्ड टू रिप्लेस देम. तो ऐसे ही हो रहा था. गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, लाठी चार्ज, पुलिस दे हैव स्टार्टेड लाठी चार्ज ऑन द सत्याग्रही. सो आगे के लोगों को जब जिनको मार लग जाता था, So that people, they were taken for medical help, and when they were taken for medical aid, no, at that time other people, they used to come and stand in the forefront, and they were also lathi charged. So this continued endlessly, and in Maharashtra, salt satyagraha took place at वडाला, मालवन एंड शिरोदा. महाराष्ट्र में कहाँ कहाँ पे हुआ था? एट वडाला, मालवन एंड शिरोडा. वेयर देयर वर नो सॉल्ट पेन्स द फॉरेस्ट लॉज वर ब्रोकन. तो जहाँ पे सॉल्ट पेन्स नहीं थे, जहाँ पे मतलब ऐसी जगह जहाँ पे सॉल्ट नहीं बनता, सो जहाँ पे सॉल्ट पेन्स नहीं थे, सो इन दैट प्लेसेस फॉरेस्ट लॉज वर ब्रोकन. सो कौन से लॉ ब्रोके थे? एट दैट टाइम ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट नो they have restriction, they have made some forest laws also which were not in favor of the Adivasis people. So that Adivasis people, so they were living in the jungle. So there were jungle satyagrahs at Bhilashi, Sangamner, Kalwan, Chirnar and Pushad in Maharashtra. The tribal people also took part in the satyagraha in large numbers. So now see, we all know forest areas में Adivasis people they are living. So these Adivasis people, सो दे वर नॉट अलाउड टू कलेक्ट द, जैसे फायरवुड, फ्रूट्स उनको कलेक्ट करने का परमिशन नहीं था. गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया था, और फॉरेस्ट को रिजर्व कर लिया था, कुछ प्लेसेस को रिजर्व करके रख दिया था. सो एज ए रिजल्ट देयर द फॉरेस्ट लॉस वेर ब्रोकन. सो नेक्स्ट वी विल बी स्टडिंग अबाउट द सेक्रीफाइस ऑफ बाबू गेनू. नाउ इन मुंबई देयर वाज एजिटेशन अगेंस्ट द फॉरेन गुड्स. द व्हीकल्स ट्रांसपोर्टिंग फॉरेन गुड्स वर ऑब्स्ट्रक्टेड. तो मुंबई में क्या हुआ था, वहाँ पे एक एजिटेशन, प्रोटेस्ट स्टार्ट हुआ था अगेंस्ट द फॉरेन गुड्स. नाउ पीपल ऑफ इंडिया नो, ऑलरेडी वी हैव स्टडीड इन द नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट ऑल्सो, दैट इज पीपल दे बॉयकॉटेड द फॉरेन गुड्स. सो यहाँ पे ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट पे बोला गया था दे शुड नॉट ब्रिंग द फॉरेन गुड्स एंड दे शुड सेल इन द इंडियन मार्केट. देन ऑल्सो द ब्रिटिश पीपल दे हैव कंटिन्यूड दैट. सो द व्हीकल्स ट्रांसपोर्टिंग फॉरेन गुड्स वर ऑब्स्ट्रक्टेड, दे वर ब्लॉक्ड. बाबू गेनू सेड ए मिल वर्कर फ्रॉम मुंबई वॉज इन द फोर फ्रंट ऑफ दिस मूवमेंट. से ये मूवमेंट में सबसे आगे कौन था? बाबू गेनू. ही वॉज ए मिल वर्कर. ए ट्रक कैरिंग फॉरेन गुड्स सेफ गार्डेड बाय द पुलिस केम इन फ्रंट ऑफ द बाबू गेनू. सो एक ट्रक था जो टोटली किसके साथ क्या था, उसके अंदर फॉरेन गुड्स थे, एंड द ट्रक वॉज प्रोटेक्टेड बाय द पुलिस. सो इट केम इन द फ्रंट ऑफ द बाबू गेनू. टू स्टॉप द ट्रक ही लाइड डाउन द ट्रक. तो ट्रक को आगे जाने से रोकने के लिए बाबू गेनू व्हाट ही हैड डन, ही लाई डाउन द रोड पे क्या किया था, जाके सो गए थे. So police threatened him, but he did not move from his place. Finally, he was crushed under the truck. So police threatened him. पुलिस ने उनको क्या डराया था कि अगर he is not going to get up, अगर वो नहीं उठा वहाँ से, तो ट्रक क्या होगा, उसके ऊपर से चला जाएगा. But then also this person Babu Genu, he was not threatened. And finally what happened? The truck it crushed Babu Genu, and Babu Genu gained, that is the martyrdom. Martyrdom का meaning क्या होता है? That is शहीद होना. Now this sacrifice of Babu Genu gave inspiration to the national movement. So ये जो sacrifice हुआ था बाबू गेनू का, because it proved inspirations for the national movement. Now here we are going to have a look over the, do you know, the features of the civil disobedience movement. Now all the movements till now were limited only to urban areas, but this movement became a nationwide movement. So अब तक जितने भी मूवमेंट्स हुए थे कहाँ पे हो रहे थे? अर्बन एरियाज में. बट ये जो मूवमेंट था इट हैज स्प्रेड ऑल ओवर इंडिया, नेशन वाइड हो गया था. पीपल फ्रॉम रूरल एरियाज दे ऑल्सो रजिस्टर्ड देयर पार्टिसिपेशन. मीन्स पीपल फ्रॉम रूरल एरियाज दे ऑल्सो टुक पार्टिसिपेशन इन दैट मूवमेंट. वुमेन ऑल्सो टुक पार्ट इन लार्ज नंबर्स. तो यहाँ पे नॉट ओनली मैन बट वुमेन दे ऑल्सो पार्टिसिपेटेड, जैसे कि कस्तूरबा गांधी, कमला देवी चट्टोपाध्याय, अवंतिका बाई गोखले, लीलावती मुंशी, हंसाबेन मेहता led the satyagraha. Now this movement was based on complete non-violence. The British government was trying to greatly suppress the movement, but the people protested unarmed. So ये movement क्या था? Totally it was based on non-violence. British people उन लोग ने means they were trying their best to suppress the movement, but people यहाँ पे क्या थे? unarmed थे. The people did not be, they have not adopted any violent method. आर्म्स, अगर आर्म्स एमिनेशंस कुछ यूज़ नहीं किया था लोगों ने. ड्यू टू दिस द इंडियन पीपल दे बिकेम fearless. So there was no fear was seen in the minds of the people. So here students we have studied about the two movements of the British government, that is the non-cooperation movement and the civil disobedience movement. So when the civil disobedience movement it was going on, so here after seeing the movement the British government they got feared, and the British government decided to have a discussion with the Indians. For that purpose here round table conference was held. So we will be studying in detail about the round table conference. Now in the opinion of the British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald, while the civil disobedience movement was going on, the constitutional issues regarding India should be thought over. So what he told that, well, the civil disobedience movement was going on at that time, the constitutional issues which were there related with India, that is regarding the how the Indian's constitution should be and what are the changes that has to be done regarding the demands of the Indians. So that has to be discussed. So for that purpose, he organized a conference in London, and this conference was called as Round Table Conference. Now, in the period that is between 1930 to 1932, three Round Table Conference was organized. Now, first Round Table Conference. Ramsay MacDonald was the chairman of the Round Table Conference. Representative of England and India participated in the conference. So, who was the chairman? That is the British Prime Minister only, Ramsay MacDonald. He was the chairman of the Round Table Conference, and representatives of India and of England, they participated in the conference. These included Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Sir Tej Bahadur Sapru, that he was a famous advocate of that time, Barrister Jinnah, etc. So these people, they participated. In the conference, there was discussion on the various topics such as responsible government at the central level, establishment of federal system in India, etc. So this conference that was held, so in that what discussion was held on? That is related with the creation of a responsible government. Now responsible government, students, here we can see at that time means at the central government should be a responsible government that should think for the benefit of the people. But here who was the central government? That is the British people, they were ruling us, so they can't think of the benefit of the people. Another was about the establishment of a federal state in India, and regarding the creation of federal state in India. Now here we can take the example in today's period. See, India is called as a federal nation. Why it is called as a federal nation? Because here we are having two types of government, at the central level and at the state level. Central level is the prime minister is there, and at the state level we are having the chief ministers. So that is called as a federal system. Now representative of different political parties in India and rulers of the princely state participated in the conference. So in this, that is the different political parties which were there, their representative, they participated, and the rulers of the princely states, they also participated. Now see, in today's period how India is a big nation, no, it is including many states are there. So but at that time, no, India means India was not considered that. At that time some regions parts were under the control of the British governments. Some regions it was ruled by the kings. For example, we can take Kashmir, Junagadh, Hyderabad. These regions it was there was king's rule was there. So that princely states they participated there. The Indian National Congress was a body that represented the country, and Indian National Congress did not participate in it. So when the first roundtable conference was held, in that the Indian National Congress it did not participated in that. And here, so Indian National Congress, it was a big representative body. It means it was including the whole people. It represented the whole nation. So as a result, without the participation of the Indian National Congress, the deliberation, that is the discussions of the roundtable conference, was meaningless only. Next is the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. So here the British Prime Minister expressed his hope of participation of the Indian National Congress in the second roundtable conference. So when afterwards the second roundtable conference was decided, so here the British Prime Minister, he hoped that here in the second roundtable conference the Indian National Congress should participate. So in view of the appeal made by the Prime Minister, the Viceroy released Mahatma Gandhi and other leaders from the prison. Now already we have studied about the movement, that's all Satyagraha that we have studied. So at that time who was arrested? Gandhiji was arrested. So and many other leaders, they were also arrested. So here the Indian National Congress, they should participate in the second round table conference. So for that purpose, Gandhiji, he was released from the prison, and along with Gandhiji, other leaders, they were also released from the prison. So a favorable atmosphere was created for the Congress to discuss the issues freely. A pact was signed between Mahatma Gandhi and Viceroy Irwin, which is known as the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. So a pact means agreement. It was signed between Gandhiji and Irwin. Here, that is the Irwin, he was the Lord Irwin, Viceroy of India. So between them that pact was signed, and it was called as the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. According to this pact, the British government assured that the system of responsible government will be added in the proposed constitution of India. So in this pact agreement, what was which points were taken? That is, a responsible government will be added in the will be created in the according to the constitution. Consequently, Indian National Congress withdrew the civil disobedience movement and agreed to attend the roundtable conference. So afterwards, what it was decided that Indian National Congress, they are going to withdraw, they are going to stop the civil disobedience movement and agreed to participate in the roundtable conference. Next is the second roundtable conference. In 1931, the second roundtable conference was organized. Mahatma Gandhi attended this conference as a representative of the Indian National Congress. So in 1931, the second roundtable conference was held. Gandhiji, he went to London to attend that conference. So along with the Indian National Congress, here representatives of various castes and communities, political parties as well princely states were invited. So along with Gandhiji, that is the representative of the various castes. That is here various castes means Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, he represented the Dalit people. Along with other communities, that is Barrister Jinnah, he represented the Muslim League party. It was so he also attended that meeting. The government put forward the issue of the minorities in the round table conference. So here when the conference was held, so here the government, they have taken in front the issues of the minorities in the round table conference. Now students, already we have studied what was the main policy of the British rule following India, divide and rule. So here when the discussion was held, here the British government, there is the issue of the minorities. Minorities means what? The people, those who are less in number. Now as compared to Hindus, here Muslims, Christians, they were less in number. So the British government raised the point here that in future the minorities will not be safe. So for that purpose, they minorities people, they should have their own rules and laws. So that was put forward by the British government. Along with that, there was differences regarding the issue and also regarding the nature of the perspective of the federal constitution. And moreover, here differences were there among these parties regarding the creation of the federal constitution. Gandhiji tried to bring unanimity in the opinion but was unsuccessful. So there was a difference in the opinion of each and everyone. So Gandhiji, he tried his best to bring to a single agreement, consensus means one opinion, but he was not successful. Finally, Gandhiji became disappointed and he came back to India. So he was disappointed there and he came back to India. Next is the Pune Pact. Now Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, he represented the Dalits in the round table conference. He demanded separate electorates for the Dalits. Now here Babasaheb Ambedkar, he demanded the separate electorates for the Dalits. After the second round table conference, the British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald declared communal awards. According to it, Dalits were given separate electorates. So Gandhiji went on fast up to death at Erwada jail, protesting against the granting of the separate electorates on the basis of the caste. Now here separate electorates means Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. See students, we all know during the time of the election, so here wards are created. So here what was the demand of the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar? He demanded that in that ward, if two people, they are going to stand for the election, so they will be from the Dalit, and in that area only Dalit people, they are going to give the vote. They are going to contest the election. They are going to give the vote. But what here Gandhiji told? Gandhiji told that means the person, those who are going to stand for the election, they will be Dalit. But the people, those who are living in that area, all should be given the right to vote. So that there was a difference in the thinking. The leaders of the Indian National Congress requested Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar to reconsider the demand for the separate electorates. So here leaders of the Indian National Congress, they started telling Babasaheb Ambedkar to reconsider his opinion. So Dr. Babasaheb, keeping in mind the interest of the nation, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was ready to accept the request. So keeping in the interest means he thought that it will be so interest of the nation. So for that purpose he agreed over that. And in 1932, Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar signed the famous Pune Pact. So afterwards, in 1932, Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, they signed the famous Pune Pact. According to this pact, separate electorates for the Dalits was cancelled and a provision for reserved seat was made. Now according to the Pune Pact, what was decided that separate electorates for the Dalits was cancelled, and instead of that a provision, a law was made for the reserved seats of the men. Instead of that, what will be there in that area, in particular in some areas, what will be there? Yes, seats will be reserved only for the Dalits, means only the Dalit person, they can stand for the election, they can contest the elections. So according to the Pune Pact, So separate electrodes for the Dalits. So it was cancelled and a provision for the reserved seats was made. So Pune Peg के हिसाब से क्या हो गया था here? Separate electrodes for the Dalits, that is was cancelled. Here reserved seats were there, means here the contestant, those who want to, जैसे कि 2 contestant जो elections के लिए खड़े होंगे, that will be of the Dalits only. But all the people, those who are living in that particular area, जो उस वार्ड में रहते रहेंगे, all will be given the right to vote. Next is the third round table conference. Now in November 1932, the round table conference was organized in England and the Indian National Congress boycotted the conference. So thus this conference proved to be futile. Futile means like useless. So third round table conference, it was held in the year 1932 in England, and the Indian National Congress, they boycott. Indian National Congress decided that they are going to boycott the conference. They are not going to attend that conference. So this conference proved to be totally useless. Next is the second phase of the civil disobedience movement. Gandhiji returned to India from the second round table conference with a dejected mind. He was upset. He decided to restart the civil disobedience movement. So when he came back to India, he decided that once again he is going to start the civil disobedience movement. Gandhiji was immediately arrested. Hence there was a discontent among the people. So here when he came, he decided that he is going to start the movement. So at that time immediately he was arrested by the British government. Hence the people, they were discontent. Discontent means angerness was seen among the people. Government responded to this movement by using inhuman oppressive methods. तो गवर्नमेंट ने यहाँ पे मीन्स द गवर्नमेंट दे ट्राइड देयर बेस्ट टू ऑपरेस द टू स्टॉप दैट मूवमेंट बाय यूजिंग इनह्यूमन ऑपरेसिव मूवमेंट्स. इनह्यूमन मतलब जैसे हो सके वैसे अत्याचार, जैसे लाठी चार्ज, फायरिंग, every method they have adopted to suppress that movement. So there was a strangling of the civic rights everywhere. Strangling मतलब suppress करना, hamper करना. Civic rights, the people, they were not able to enjoy. The Indian National Congress and its associated institutions were declared as illegal. Or Indian National Congress or whichever the other institutions were there, they were linked with the Indian National Congress, all were declared as illegal. Restrictions were levied on the national newspapers and literature. So newspapers और literature के ऊपर क्या लगा दिया था? Restrictions लगा दिया था. Means they can't publish anything against the British people. Finally, in April 1934, Gandhiji withdrew the movement and the historic phase of the civil disobedience movement came to an end. So at last, in April 1934, Gandhiji he stopped the movement, and the historical phase of the civil disobedience movement, it came to an end. Thank you.